Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Lux Slinger. Got a confession to make for you on this one. I had to pirate this if I wanted to play it on Vita because there were physical copies and only physical copies, and I was sick on the week that on the day I should say, that the physical copies of this went up on sale. I was actually intending to buy this one and Horizon Chase Turbo, but by the time I managed to drag myself out of bed because I was sick and actually go and order them, yeah, they were just gone. And they're not up on the digital store, so I can't buy them that way either. So, if I want to show off all the even remotely interesting games on Vita, this is what you got to resort to. And I will say, though, that I will not be monetizing either this video or the Horizon Chase Turbo video. If those two get monetized, it's YouTube taking the money for the music that's being played in the background or something like that, because that's generally what they do. So with that said, have a quick look at the settings, but it's only music and sound effects and the language, the usual stuff. Although this does bring up two things. One, I've left the frame rate counter on in the top left there because I don't know if it's falsely reporting that number, although it usually works fine on every other game I've tried, but it is rendering so many frames, but yet sometimes this game can't even maintain what feels like a solid 60. It's got like horizontal tearing all over the place. So I don't know what's wrong and what's right. All I know is that this port is weird and it does not feel great to play. And that it's a little bit undercooked in a lot of presentational areas, especially this font down here. This looks like the default Game Maker font. I don't know if it is. It might be. I don't think this game is Unity. But yeah, that's something. Also, the text does not look anywhere near that bad. Anywhere near that colored and pixelated and what have you. But it is still really small, and it really doesn't help the theme they got going on here when they're using the most generic theme possible, generic font possible. These loading screens here would be improved if you just took out the text there, because it seems almost completely irrelevant to what's going on. I don't know what they've gone on about here. Want to play Patty Cake personally? The fuck is she talking about? Okay. Sure. So we're here in the saloon. We can talk to people. Who's the fastest with a knife? Fair enough. Although most of these people... Wait, what? Most of these people, as far as I know, are completely irrelevant to the main plot. That was the sheriff there. I actually needed to go talk to him. Shit. Most of these people are irrelevant to the main plot. Sometimes they give you little side activities to do out here, like extra boss fights or what have you. But if you're not going for 100% completion, it's... And this is just obnoxious. The sheriff is just a drunkard the whole time. Also, he does that. But you can see it. Like, you can see the vertical tearing. Like, pay attention to the sides of the buildings. And just the way that it just stammers in. It's like, how is it running at 100 frames a second, but it can't maintain decent VSync? It looks awful. And it's genuinely distracting when you're trying to play it, even on the Vita screen, because it just looks like everything's stammering along, and a game this simple should not be causing this many issues. But anyway, there's our target, and if we head off to the right side of the screen, we can take care of that. But over on the left here... Draw when the music stops. I can't do that, because I don't have the music on. How unfortunate. Thankfully, I can just head over to the right here. This is the jail, where all of the main bosses you've been fighting are stored if you choose to let them live. You can also choose to kill them, although I don't know what the difference is at this point. The entire plot of the game is that these bandits have come and stolen the 6 lucky totems from the town, and everybody just ran the fuck away as a result. And as you go and kill them, you get back the lucky totems. When you go kill them and you get the lucky totems back, the town slowly starts building itself back up. But that's it, really. Sometimes the writing is actually okay, too, because there's a couple of situations where you find yourself thinking, oh, I actually kind of like the trick they got going on there. Like the third boss, for example. He's actually being affected by a terminal disease. And he actively says, oh, this is the only thing keeping me alive. And that's kind of a neat concept. But they don't really push it much further than that. And they do have a fair amount of gameplay things going on as well. So the way this game works is that you've got a luck counter up in the top left there, right? And this luck counter is filled by performing certain actions. It usually involves killing people and just outright stealing their luck. And when you've got enough luck, good things start happening to you. You'll start finding more items. You'll get more stuff off people who are killed. You'll start ignoring certain environmental traps. Like, say, water towers falling down on you, or windmills, or what have you. Really clever concept, and you can actually use this to your advantage in other ways as well. Like, some of these bullets get turned into lucky bullets. And these lucky bullets will just always ignore you. They don't hurt you. Really clever concept. Unfortunately, the gameplay is just so simple that it never really amounts to anything. You do have a couple of things you can do. You've got a dodge roll, which is invulnerability to all bullets and attacks. You've got a knife that you can throw out, like so. And it does damage. And your bird gets your knife back, which is nice. But the knife is so short range that you might as well just shoot all the time. That's what I've been doing, and I've been making it through just fine. Like, just... The weird thing is, it's not even like left on the analog stick that works. For me, it's only to the right. I cannot figure out exactly why only pushing it to the right works. Not up, down, or left, but right? Oh. Where did that snake come from? I got no idea. You've only got 6 shots in your revolver, of course, and you need to be standing on solid ground in order to reload it. And hell, some of the bullets actually become homing bullets when you reload them, which is kind of a nice touch. And of course, lucky bullets give you a little bit of auto aim. Not much, but if you're firing in someone's general direction, you'll probably kill them. You've got money, which you can use to pay for upgrades. You've got extra lives. And then you've got these random loading screens. This might be the most simplistic game I've played on the Vita. I'm sure there might be 1 or 2 more, but just in terms of overall scene complexity when it comes to graphics and music, this feels like something you could put on the SNES without much trouble. That's what I mean by environmental effects. This feels like something you could put on the SNES without much trouble, and yet the Vita still has to do 2 or 3 loads for individual parts of this game. So bizarre. You do get nice warnings. The screen just goes red around the edges there when you're about to get hit by a negative luck effect. which is nice because sometimes it refers to falling platforms that you need to get off of pretty much immediately. So yeah, it is still a nice touch. I just gotta say that I still find it to be quite annoying sometimes that platforms that you would otherwise need to hop on will just fall out from under you. And that's it for everything that can be affected by luck. There is also a sort of like luck shield thing you can deploy with the L button. But I haven't found myself using it for anything because frankly just keeping full luck is more useful. It makes random shots actively unable to hit you. It makes, brain work with me here. It gives your bullets homing. And it keeps certain environmental things from falling on you. So why wouldn't you want maximum luck all the time? Why would you waste it? Especially on certain boss fights where you would get a nice reprieve from whatever's going on. And so as a result, the game just ends up being really simple. Build up your luck. Avoid the attacks with dodge rolls. And just keep firing your gun. There are other things that are in the game, like special items, like pieces of dynamite or, what would you call them, bloody boomerangs. But they're not useful. In fact, they're very not useful. They do very little damage. Sometimes it looks like the boomerang doesn't affect anything at all. And there's nothing else. There's nothing else in the way of gameplay mechanics. There's nothing else in the way of complexity. It really is just the same thing. There's not even that much in the way of platforming that's combined with the gunplay, because the gunplay is so basic that it just doesn't have anything. It doesn't have anything going for it. It can't surprise you. And there ain't a single problem in this game that can't be resolved by loading 6 shots in the barrel, ducking, and just continuously firing. Sometimes there are some more complex bullet patterns that you need to worry about, but like outside of that, it really is just as simple as it looks. Just never stop shooting and you'll probably be fine. And you get extra lives too. I don't know what happens when you run out of lives, because I haven't lost that many. And then you get this guy. It's the Russian roulette guy. You play against him, and if you win, you get a gold bar out of it. These are the goal of the game. All the side activities back at town and beating all of the main bosses will do that. Weird, but admittedly I do kind of like the concept. Although there is a problem with it. Again, if you're at maximum luck, it just doesn't really do anything of note, because when you're at maximum luck, you can't load a bullet in the barrel. And the first 2 times I tried to play him, the entire game froze. All you can hear was the music, the buttons wouldn't work, the animations were frozen. I had to quit the game and restart it twice. So I was actually kind of lucky that that one worked. And that's another thing that this game has not got going for it, and that is just technical competency. As I said before, the vertical tearing is fucking awful. The frame rate just doesn't hold up from time to time, and it's bloody weird. The game is, as I said, prone to freezing. And sometimes just weird shit happens. Like your bullet casings will come down from the roof instead of being thrown out from you, or you'll just get just weird things happen. Weird effects that aren't supposed to be there. Weird jumps or movement that just doesn't feel right. Everything about this game feels dreadfully unpolished most of the time. Which is a shame, because I really do like the concept. It's quite clever. But the presentation with the crappy fonts and the admittedly quite lo-fi graphics, which would be likable if there was a bit more effort put into it, but everything just feels so plain that I can't get into the way this game styles itself. And I gotta tell you, man, there's another glitch for ya. What the fuck did I just do to myself? Oh my god, I'm stuck. I'm fucking stuck. Great, reload. There's another one I'll tell you about too. Third level on the train. When you get on one of these handcart things that automatically pushes itself, so that you don't have to be like walking back and forth, you slowly get pushed to the right. Guess how I found this out? When I holy fuck, I did it again. Guess how I found this out? When I was sitting on this thing, I put my Vita down to let the ride go because there was very little chance an actual monster would come by and actually pose a challenge. So, I ended up getting thrown off and losing a life. But the funny thing was, that didn't even matter. You want to know why it didn't even matter? Because some weird bug had stacked on top of that one and resulted in me being completely invincible. I took no damage from getting shot, having monsters that attack me. There wasn't a damn thing that could hurt me, except, for some reason, falling off the edge. So somehow, despite the fact that I managed to glitch myself into literal invulnerability, I still managed to find a way to die. If that just isn't a fantastic example of how incompetent I am at video games, I don't know what is. And it actually stuck around, like, after I had finished the stage and gone back to the main thing as well. The only thing that did it was me restarting the game to make sure you got a... What the fuck is this? For me to make sure that you actually got a fair view of the game. That killed the invulnerability. Which I was kind of saddened by. But whatever. Oh yeah, these two. Sometimes they'll help you out. Sometimes this crazy farmhand will just attack you. Again, it's probably luck-based. There are also sometimes things like prisoners to go find that'll give you some extra money. Sometimes there are other things. Extra money and a gold bar, I think the main thing is. But you've seen basically everything there is to see. Graphics, music is... Honestly, sometimes it sounds awful. Like, the green sleeve... I don't remember what the Blade town is called. But the thing there... The thing. The town that you go back to. Its theme, before you start getting shit done, is not very good. And not in the sense that it's like just unsettling or I just don't like it. Something about it just sets off this please don't make me listen to this anymore because it's not good at all sort of thing. And I don't know what the hell is wrong exactly. Holy shit, what was that? I don't know exactly what was wrong, but it just doesn't sit right with me in the slightest. The gameplay is really simple. All you really need to do is fill up your luck meter, dodge every attack that comes your way, and you'll generally be fine. With that said, I'm doing a very horrific job of that right now. There we go. Okay, I guess I don't get to go in there now. Boss fight time. Here comes the monologue. The fuck? Okay. I don't know why I willingly agreed to that. But it happened. So the knife does 1 point of damage. Now, you can't just spam your regular gun, right? Because you are going to end up just slowly shooting a little bit upwards. That's fine. But when you've got maximum luck, or even just relatively high luck, you're going to get 1 or 2 homing bullets per magazine, per drum, per 6 bullets. So it can eventually just narrow itself down to just hammer away at the square button. Even then, all you really need to do is only fire like 2 shots at a time. You're not going to do it massively fast, but it's really not hard to learn either. And when they're up close and personal like that, you can just do that. And it just does not pose a threat. Here comes the next phase. And that was it. Did I even take a hit? I might have taken like 1 hit that entire time. And now I get to choose whether or not to kill her or carry her. The question is though, do I just head straight back inside? Yeah, I better not just jump right back off the top of the building. Wouldn't that be something? Too many. What does that even mean? Yeah, but now, even a little bit more life has been brought back to the town. Which is kind of neat. But again, the writing isn't fantastic, and it just gets let down in the presentation by that awful font. And sometimes there is a lot of typos. Didn't see that many in this video, but they're there, and it's enough. So yeah, that was Luckslinger. An interesting concept let down by relatively poor presentation, terrible technical performance, and surprisingly simplistic gameplay given the concept. I wish there was more of it. I would not recommend it. Maybe if it was like $5 on the digital store and you had nothing else better to do, maybe that would be okay. But people probably paid a fair amount of money to get like a limited edition of this, and it's only like 2 to 3 hours long. That was the 4th level, and as far as I'm aware, there's only really 6 of them. So, it's not a very long game. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. This has been Blue Maxima. I'll see you all next time.